Welcome to Video 5, our Week Together demonstration. In this routine, children use a one-week linear calendar to answer questions about their classroom life, mathematizing this real-world context to think about how smaller quantities combine and separate. The materials you'll need for this activity are one of the linear calendar options described in the instructions and also a clothespin or a pointer. Please refer to the activity instructions for how to individualize for your classroom. This activity provides the opportunity to use the following key instructional practices for solving basic problems. Use counting to solve classroom-based problems and create opportunities for children to do so. Use a variety of tools including objects, fingers, drawing, and 5 and 10 frames to solve problems. And provide opportunities for children to see the different ways a single quantity can be broken into smaller quantities. Let's join a classroom as they engage in this routine.
You know what a calendar is?
Calendario? Yeah.
Oh, you're pointing. You kind of, something with numbers? Is that what you're thinking? It's kind of like this. We sometimes use calendars to keep track of our days, to count our days, and maybe sometimes special events that are happening in our day. When you see what I'm going to show you, I want you to look with your eyes, see what you notice. When you have an idea, do this. Give me a thumbs up when you have an idea. Give this.
What do you see? A house?
You see a house? You see, are you looking over here? See some, looks like a house, an apartment building where people might live. I wonder, anybody else see that? You can say me. You can do like this, me too, if you see it. The same thing. Okay, me too. I wonder how many we see. How many pictures of houses we see? Two. And you could just see that. You didn't even have to count. You could just see it and know it. What are you noticing?
I see that we see our class.
You see our school here? That's a picture of the school here, right? And when you walk in, this is what it looks like outside. How many do we see? Anybody have any ideas? You have an idea?
5.
So it looks like you were counting, right? You were kind of counting with your eyes, but it's kind of hard because you couldn't touch all of them, right? So how about if we'll count just the school pictures first, and we'll see how many we have. I know some of you have an idea, you think you know. Let's check and see if you were right. You ready? You can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I got it correct.
You were correct. There were 5 pictures of our school. And we said already there are 2 pictures of home. So do you know how you're showing me on your fingers.
5, 6.
So on our fingers, we can keep track of our days that we're in school, because we're in school 5 days, and then we go home for 2 days. And that's why this shows kind of like our week, so we can keep track of the days we're in school and the days we're at home. Okay? So let's see, we have 5 school days. Let's see, do you know why? Somebody was showing me on their hand.
5.
Because we are come to school on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. 5 days we're in school. And then we go home, and we're home on Saturday and Sunday. Right? And all together, how many days do you think that is? Should we count from the beginning and see if we can figure it out? You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many days all together in our week? 7. We have 5 school days and 2 at home days. 7 days. So today we're in school, right? So this is how we're going to use our week here. Today we're in school on this day. This is a school day, and it's Thursday. Not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, but Thursday. That's today. Layla, you're going to be coming back on Friday tomorrow. So then tomorrow I'm going to move our clip to the next day. And then after Friday, after our 5th day, you'll go home for 2 days. Okay, and then we'll start all the way at the beginning again on Monday when you come back. All right? And this is how we're going to keep track of our week.
I sent you some suggestions about creating our, the Our Week tool, and how did that go for you?
Well, I have to be honest. When I first took a look at it, I thought, "Oh, this is going to be a lot of work to make it. I don't know if it's even going to work for the kids." And I'm kind of been used to doing calendar, like, having a regular calendar, doing it with the children. But then after talking with you, you kind of helped me to see that's kind of a lot for them, and they're not really understanding what the numbers mean and the days. And so it made sense when you were talking to me about it. And so I went ahead and thought, okay, I'm going to trust Donna, and I'm going to make it happen. And it was actually kind of fun. I found pictures online, and I just took pictures of the front of the school because I figured we had talked about this, that's where they come in, they would recognize it, and they did. When I asked them, what do you notice? That's our school. So that was kind of fun. They could just see it right away. And then the home was kind of tricky because we have some children who live in apartment buildings, we have some who live in homes, but I knew I had to have two of the same, so they're not confused. So I did apartment buildings, and one of the children did say that's a house. So I think it communicated that the 5 days are in school and the 2 days are at home, and it just seems like they're going to understand it. It's more simple, smaller.
This tool has so much more potential, and so I want us to think about it in more ways than just keeping track of where they are in the week, in a sense, and how many days they've been in school and how many days that are left to be in school before they get home.
Well, one thing I'm thinking about is, like, I know we do music usually on Tuesdays, so I guess I could think about having a little icon, although I don't have room on here, but maybe I could add something that I can clip something on here to show a music note or an instrument. So when that day comes, I guess they could say, we're here tomorrow and we're going to have music, or today we're going to have music. Is that what you're thinking?
So if you had something down here that said, today is a music day, say Monday they come in, as you're looking at your week, somebody might notice, we've got music coming up. The next, Tuesday is our music day. We've got one day till music. Or if music was on Thursday, or if you've got something else on Thursday, they might say, there's 1, 2, 3 more days before we have whatever that activity is. Or it might not be an activity that occurs every week, but it might be something that's really important. Like somebody's birthday. So if somebody's birthday is coming up, that would be a great thing to indicate on here.
A field trip we would have coming up, or an event at school, anything I guess they're looking forward to. I could see how putting that up here, because sometimes when they know something's coming up, they want to know, teacher, when are we gonna, when is our field trip? When are we going to pick apples? Whatever it is. And I can see that if I added that, I could encourage them to come over and look at the week. I would call it, look at our week. Let's check our week. And then they could see, it's, in 2 more days, or they could count. Maybe it's a little mathy for them to figure out how many days till they get to do that activity. Yeah, I could see a lot more uses for this than when I've used a regular calendar. And it's just easy to look at. It's small. I can put it up, and it's just the 7 days. And that's all they're thinking about is the present, right?
They're thinking about
not to the future. So
not too far into the future.
And it's nice that there aren't any numerals, which I think can get confusing sometimes too. We're getting up to 30 or 31 with the calendar. Yeah. What are we counting exactly? So we can just talk about words. And I think being able to show on our fingers, like you said, the smaller numbers when you get close to something, how many more days, or 2 days, or whatever it might be, is just seems more manageable.
The other nice thing about when you spoke about getting the numerals, we always get to 31 and then, or 30, and then we start back at 1, and it's like, what happened? When we know the progression. So for children right now, those are more abstract concepts. So keeping the focus to the week, the 5 school days, the 2 home days, thinking about, you can talk about, that we're here the first day of the week, it's Monday. They might know that they've got something happening on Wednesday. So even though we don't have the days of the week on the calendar, it's perfectly fine to talk about the days of the week. But in terms of the date, that's not necessarily as important to them as it is what's happening in the course of the week.
Okay. And that idea, I think, of what
how far down the week is it, or how many days away?
How many days away? How many more days until something happens? And this is small enough where they can manage it, even in terms of emotionally. You don't want it to be too far away. You want it to be something that they can handle the anticipation. So maybe at the beginning of the week you've got, those birthdays out there so that children can anticipate one another's birthdays.
I can see them having a lot of fun, coming in right away and looking, especially on Monday. What's happening this week?
What's happening this
In
week?
our week.
So those are the questions that they're going to be wondering. What's happening in our week? And you've got this nice visual representation.
Yep.
I'm thinking about something else, Lisa. As we're talking about the tool, there's a couple other things that I want you to think about. How this can reflect, the culture of, the home culture of your children. Ramadan or just different holidays that might be an opportunity for even to invite the family to come in and share about that culture. It can be a number of things. The snow is important because it had a huge impact on the children. If there was a blizzard and school was shut down, then that may be something we want to mark because, this was so cool, and maybe this was the first day we were back after so many days because of the weather. I think we want, the idea we want to communicate is that this is a tool that allows us to think about, it gives us the flexibility to think about how children are experiencing this week. And this week might have some specific things like music on Tuesdays, or it might have the field trip we know is going to happen on Friday, or it might be, Sarah's birthday that's happening tomorrow, or it might be the unexpected that, in a sense, we don't capture until after it happens.
Well,
but
that's a good question. Do you go back?
Well, if it happens in the week, so I think that's the beauty of this, the calendar, our week calendar, that it really allows us to think about all of the milestones that have happened in the week. And, it might be an individual milestone, it might be the classroom milestone, it might be something that impacts the whole school, or parts of the school.
A fire drill.
A fire drill, sometimes they're happening, and so you can tell children, we're going to have a fire drill tomorrow. You put that down, and tomorrow we're going to have a fire drill, so when it goes off, you don't have to be afraid. So that's a nice kind of thing to anticipate. And sometimes we don't know. But all of this is our week. So I think those are great possibilities to think about for your classroom. I think those are great possibilities. And I think as you use it more, the children are going to help you to think about, we need to put this on our week. This is happening, or and then you will know, okay, this is something we need to add because it's important to them.